So writing involves a lot of things. It's a complex thing to do because there are so many stages involved in writing. It begins with the conception of an idea. After an idea has been conceived, you have to think about developing it. Sometimes you need to have quiet time. Sit down somewhere else, seclude yourself in a particular corner to think about the idea and how you want to develop it. So after developing your idea, you have to start drafting. Drafting is where you try to put that idea on paper. Drafting is the first stage of any manuscript. You write out what you want to write. In a rough way, you tell the story that you want to tell. After drafting, you now start editing. Editing takes a long time. You can go on and on because a lot of things are involved in editing. Sometimes you have to scatter the manuscript, rearrange it. Sometimes you have to cut a lot of things and throw them out. And then you have to bring in new ideas also. So writing is what is hectic. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of intellect. You are forming something, especially if it is not just telling of stories. You are trying to carve something for the people to engage in. So it takes a lot of things. Now, after drafting your manuscript, editing over and over again and again, you now have to go into the world of publishing, the most complex word I have ever encountered in my journey of life. Sometimes they will not just one thing can just turn somebody off your work. A single line can just spoil everything about the interest of anybody who would have helped you to publish the work. So a lot of things are involved in this. But you have to keep going and going until you get there. So early this year, I published a novel, Beyond Blames. So I remember a question that one of my colleagues asked me that day. Beyond Blames is a novel. So one of my colleagues asked me this question. It was quite important to me. He said, I know we work together here. You go to class, you teach. I also know that you are involved in administrative work. Sometimes you close here around 8, sometimes 7. The earliest you leave here is after 5. So where do you find time to write? It wasn't a difficult question, but it was quite demanding. I needed to explain because we have the same 24 hours. And out of the 24 hours we spend about 60 to 70% of the time, or sometimes more, at office. So where do you have time to write? So I have to explain. Of course, everybody knows that writing is hectic. It's quite demanding. It's enormous. So you have to really, really bend down. Sacrifice a lot of things. Sometimes outing, I have to sacrifice. Sometimes I have to sacrifice the sleeping hours to stay awake and write. Sometimes after all the sacrifice, you sit down at the table for more than 2 hours. Nothing is forthcoming. You don't know what to write. You are just there. You're just thinking. Ideas are not just coming. And then you feel starved. You feel frustrated. And then you leave the table sorrowfully to go and sleep. So you have series of encounters like that, series of moments of that nature. But as a writer, you have to keep going. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. So truly, it's about sacrifice. For me, writing is about sacrifice because it's not just something you do for a day or you finish up within 1 week or 1 month. Sometimes 1 year you are on it. Sometimes 2 years you are still on a particular manuscript. Sometimes 3. Sometimes it takes a long time, longer than anybody could imagine, for someone to work on a particular manuscript. So writing is actually hectic, if I must say, even for those that are into full-time writing. What I mean by full-time writing is they are not doing something else. When they wake up, they think about what to write. Either a poem or a drama text or a novel or a short story or flash fiction or something. So it entails a lot of things. Writing entails a lot of things, and one has to sacrifice in order to write very well. But people are doing it. We are doing it. So those who are into it, let's just keep doing the good work.